We go to a party.
Embark on a journey with us as we explore the importance of patience and perseverance. Join our dynamic conversations and practices to enhance your English skills. Let's dive in and discover the value of persistence together.
Everyone turns to see this beautiful lady.
Hey there, wonderful listeners. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Banter Brigade, where we dish out all sorts of fun and fascinating topics for your listening pleasure.
That's right, folks, and today we're diving deep into the wonderful world of patience. Patience, that elusive virtue we all strive for but often find so darn hard to master.
Oh, you're telling me, Mason, patience is like trying to catch a slippery fish with your bare hands. Just when you think you've got it, poof, it slips right through your fingers.
Absolutely, Sophia, but fear not, dear listeners. By the end of this episode, you'll be wielding the patience of a saint and handling life's curveballs like a pro.
So, let's start by unpacking what exactly patience is. I mean, we all know it's important, but what does it really mean to be patient?
Well, patience is like the Zen master of virtues. It's the ability to wait calmly and gracefully in the face of delay, adversity, or annoyance.
Yes. It's like sitting in traffic and resisting the urge to honk your horn like a maniac. Trust me, I've been there.
Oh, haven't we all, Sophia? But here's the thing, patience isn't just about biting your tongue and gritting your teeth. It's about embracing the moment and trusting that everything will unfold in its own time.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Mason. And let's not forget that patience isn't just about waiting, it's also about how we react while we wait.
Absolutely. Patience is all about keeping your cool, maintaining a positive attitude, and maybe even finding a silver lining in the delay.
Finding the silver lining, easier said than done, right? But trust me, folks, it's worth it. Because when you approach life with patience and grace, magical things can happen.
And speaking of magical things, let's talk about the benefits of cultivating patience in our everyday lives.
Yes. Patience isn't just good for the soul, it's good for the body and mind too. Studies have shown that practicing patience can reduce stress, improve relationships, and even boost our physical health.
Not to mention, it can also lead to greater success and happiness in the long run, so really, it's a win-win.
Absolutely, Mason. But of course, like anything worth having, patience takes time and effort to develop.
So true, Sophia, but trust us, dear listeners, the payoff is more than worth it in the end.
And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up part 1 of our discussion on patience.
We go to a party.
Now, we're continuing our journey through the wonderful world of personal growth by exploring the concept of perseverance.
Perseverance, the steadfast determination to keep pushing forward, no matter what obstacles stand in your way. It's like the fuel that keeps our dreams alive and kicking.
Absolutely, Sophia. Perseverance is like that friend who never gives up on you, even when things get tough. And let's face it, folks, life can throw some pretty hefty curveballs our way.
Oh, you're telling me, Mason, but here's the thing. It's not about how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many times you get back up.
That's right, Sophia, and that's where perseverance comes in. It's about picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and diving right back into the game.
But let's be real, perseverance isn't always easy. It takes grit, resilience, and a whole lot of courage to keep going when the going gets tough.
Oh, for sure, but trust us, dear listeners, the rewards of perseverance are more than worth the effort.
Absolutely. So, let's talk about some practical tips and strategies for cultivating perseverance in our everyday lives.
Well, one thing's for sure, having a clear goal in mind can really help keep you motivated when times get tough.
That's right, Mason. And breaking that goal down into smaller, more manageable steps can make it feel much less daunting.
And let's not forget the power of positive thinking. Maintaining a hopeful and optimistic outlook can make all the difference when faced with adversity.
Yes. and surrounding yourself with a supportive network of friends, family, and mentors can provide the encouragement and guidance you need to keep pushing forward.
Absolutely. And speaking of mentors, we've got a special guest joining us today who knows a thing or two about perseverance.
That's right, folks. Please give a warm welcome to our dear friend, Emily.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for having me on the show.
Emily, we're so excited to have you here. Can you share with our listeners a bit about your own journey with perseverance?
Of course, well, I've faced my fair share of challenges and setbacks along the way, but through it all, I've learned the importance of never giving up on my dreams.
That's incredibly inspiring. Emily, do you have any tips or advice for our listeners who might be struggling to persevere in their own lives?
Absolutely. I think it's important to remember that setbacks are just temporary roadblocks on the path to success. And by staying focused, staying resilient, and staying true to yourself, you can overcome any obstacle that comes your way.
Wise words indeed, Emily. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today.
Yes, thank you, Emily, and thank you to all our wonderful listeners for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of perseverance.
Who's walking around with me? And then she
Now, we're wrapping things up by delving into the wonderful world of practicing patience and perseverance in our everyday lives.
Oh, practicing patience and perseverance, easier said than done, am I right? But fear not, dear listeners. By the end of this episode, you'll be armed with all the tools you need to tackle life's challenges with grace and determination.
That's right, Sophia, and what better way to kick things off than with a good old-fashioned story?
Oh, I love a good story. Lay it on us, Mason.
Well, picture this. A young adventurer sets out on a quest to climb the tallest mountain in the land. Along the way, she encounters treacherous terrain, wild beasts, and fierce storms.
Wow, sounds like quite the adventure.
Indeed it was, Sophia, but despite the countless obstacles that stood in her way, our brave adventurer never lost sight of her goal. With patience and perseverance, she pressed on one step at a time until finally she reached the summit and achieved her dreams.
What an inspiring tale. It just goes to show that with enough patience and perseverance, anything is possible.
Absolutely, Sophia, and speaking of possibilities, let's talk about some practical ways we can incorporate patience and perseverance into our daily lives.
Well, one thing's for sure, practice makes perfect. By intentionally seeking out opportunities to exercise patience and perseverance, we can strengthen those virtues over time.
That's right, Sophia, and don't forget the power of reflection. Taking the time to look back on our experiences and identify areas for growth can help us become even more resilient in the face of adversity.
Yes, and let's not underestimate the importance of self-care. Taking care of our physical, mental, and emotional well-being is essential for maintaining the strength and resilience needed to persevere.
Absolutely. And now let's hear from our special guest, June, who's here to share some of her own tips and tricks for practicing patience and perseverance.
Welcome to the show, June.
Thanks for having me, Sophia and Mason. I'm thrilled to be here.
June, we'd love to hear about your experiences with practicing patience and perseverance. Any words of wisdom you can share with our listeners?
Well, one thing I've learned is the importance of setting realistic goals and expectations. It's great to have big dreams, but breaking them down into smaller, more manageable steps can make them feel much more achievable.
Wise words, June, and do you have any favorite practices or exercises for cultivating patience and perseverance in your own life?
Definitely. One thing I like to do is keep a gratitude journal, where I write down 3 things I'm grateful for every day. It helps me maintain a positive mindset and reminds me to appreciate the journey, not just the destination.
What a wonderful idea. June, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today.
Yes, thank you, June, and thank you to all our amazing listeners for joining us on this adventure through the realms of patience and perseverance.
We hope you've enjoyed this journey as much as we have. And remember, folks, no matter what challenges life throws your way, with patience and perseverance, you can overcome anything.
That's right, Sophia. So keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep being the incredible, resilient individuals that you are.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Take care, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
God be. See you next time.
Goodbye.
We go to a party